Good morning all of you. On the previous slide we have studied about what are the environmental issues. Okay. So environmental issues I have already discussed. So growth of population, which is increase the industrialization, due to that the environmental problems are increased, and next one is your acid rain. Okay. So how acid rain occurs? When you are burning of fossil fuels, which is arises from your industrializations, that release sulfates and nitrates into the air, okay, and it mixes with water vapor in air and it makes the acid rain. So in this way, the acid rain or the industrialization is the factor to create the environment problem, okay. So next here is your environmental problem or environmental issues is deforestation. Okay. So deforestation means what? When your growth of population growth is increased, then that leads to loss of natural habitat. Okay. For constructing new buildings or for fulfill of human needs, the people cut down the trees and construct the new buildings or new house for their satisfaction. Okay, and then due to the cut down of trees, loss of oxygen, and there are produced so many carbon or produce more carbon dioxide, which cause the environmental issues. Okay. Another environmental issues is for the agriculture purpose, for killing of the your insects, people are use spray of pesticides which affect the environment. Okay, this is the another issue for environment. Next one is your water pollution. So water pollution, how water pollution occurs? Now when your oil spills into the water, and when your gasoline spills into the water, and when your and it will be mixed in your drinking water. So in this way, or your garbage, waste materials, they are also enter into the water. So in this way, your water pollution is done. Or you all of you know that in nowadays your industries also releases their waste water or industrial waste water to the rivers, that will affect or pollute the water. So in this way, the environment gets problems. Okay. Next and last one is the environmental issue is global warming. Okay. So global warming is occurring due to increase in carbon dioxide, increase in greenhouse effect, and increase in global temperature. Okay. So these are the environmental issues. Due to these aspects, due to these factors, the environment gets problem. Okay, and these are the human activities that create the problems for environment. Okay. So next one is your what to learn in environment. Okay. In environmental science, what we learn? First one is we learn about how nature works and to understand interaction of different components and to find how human beings affect our environment. Okay. So these are the things that we learn in your environment. Okay. So as a first question, all of you want to know, ma'am, as a engineer, what is the useful for us to study environment? Why we study environment as an engineer? Okay. So as an engineer, we should study environmental science to find the sustainable solution for different global and local environment problems. Okay. So as an engineer, whenever we are going to construct a new structure, okay, so before that we should study the environmental study, what are the environmental problems in that location, what are the sustainable solution for that, and what is the soil conditions. Okay, so these are needs for as an engineer to study the environmental science. Okay, so first one is how nature works, then to understand the interaction of different components and to find out how human being affect our environment. In previous slide I have already discussed that what are the human activity and how human activities affect our environment. Okay, so next one is your component of environment. Okay, so component of environment is your consist of your biotic and abiotic systems. Okay, so first of all components is your the environment is the defined as the whole physical and biological system surrounding man and other organisms. Okay, along with various factors which influencing them. For that, what are there? The factors like your soil, air, water, light, temperature. These are your abiotic factors. Okay, and beside the abiotic factors, the environment is very much influenced by biotic factors, which include all forms of life like plant, animal, microorganisms. Okay, so first this is your components of environment. It is broadly classified into two types. One is your abiotic and another one is your biotic. Okay, so first we know what is biotic. Biotic means life. Okay, so here your bio means life. So biotic means your living organism. Abiotic, we know that bio means life, abiotic means a means without, so it is non-living organisms. Here biotic means living organisms, here a means without life, means your non-living organisms. Okay, so in simple way you can remember this like means biotic means life, living organisms, and abiotic means non-living organisms. Okay, so here the definition is abiotic. It is the non-living components of environment which include all the physical and chemical factors that influence living organisms. Okay, and what is biotic? Biotic or living components are the living things of environment and includes plants, animals, and human beings. Okay, so these are the biotic and abiotic factors. Your biotic means living. Living means, for example, which have the life. Okay, so these are plants, your animals, your fungi, bacteria. These are okay. And what are the non-living or abiotic factors? For example, your water, sunlight, soil, air, temperature. So as a human being, okay, or as any life that can be survived with the coordinate with the living and non-living things. Okay. So next we know we know about relationship between the different components. Different components means it is your biotic and abiotic components. How biotic and abiotic components are correlated and helps to each other for surviving. Okay, so here I am giving an example to you that you can easily understood about that how biotic and non-biotic components are correlated with each other and it helps to survive to each other. Okay, so this is the example of how plants grow. Okay, so here is a plant that we know here now that this plant how grow. Okay, so as we know plant taking carbon dioxide from the air. Okay, carbon dioxide from the air, then taking water from the soil. Okay, and taking the sunlight. Okay, light from the soil, sun, and then making the food. Then making the food through the chemical process, which is known as your photosynthesis process. Okay, so here respiration process is works in energy and work. Okay, so in this way the plant can grow. Okay, so this plant is your biotic component because it have the life. Okay, but here the sun and soil and water, these are the abiotic components, means non-living components. So here the your living organisms or biotic component get helps from the abiotic components and it makes the food and grow. Okay, so in this way this biotic and abiotic components are correlated with each other for surviving. Okay, so after the plant grow, it get the food, the plant also food for the higher animals. So we can say that all the biotic and abiotic substances that can exchange with each other for the survival. Okay, this is the best example for you that you can understand how your biotic and abiotic different components correlated with each other and what are the relationships. Okay, thank you. So next we discuss in the next slide.